Interesting developments right now in the precious metals markets. Warnings. We're getting some warnings. We're going to talk about the reasons why some people are putting out warnings about the silver and the gold price, but also we have other people telling us that we are continuing upward, especially through the end of the year. We're going to look at the big reasons why we can be optimistic about the silver and gold price. While there's interesting developments out there, the most interesting thing is you. I want to tell you, thank you for joining me here in the basement. It's a big deal. You're special. You're unique. We come together. We love to talk about the silver and gold price. I hope you feel like you found a little home away from home down here in the basement with me. Please subscribe to the channel. It's free. I want you to come back and leave a comment in the comment section below. Trust me, a lot of people don't agree with me, and that's okay. That's how we can learn, is from each other. Read some comments, interact. I'd encourage you to become part of this community. Let's start out with some good news about the silver price. We're going to go check out and see what our friend Rashad is telling us. Guys, we've got a lot to look at today. And we'll start out with Rashad, who says silver as well failed to break out and hold above $39. So we know last week we approached $40. We didn't break out above 39, but silver, he says, is most likely going to test 37.50 next week before it starts to rally again. This could be the last cleansing before silver goes to my immediate $44 per ounce target. We're going to talk about gold here in a second as well, but let's take a look at this chart and see what he's talking about. As you can see, guys, we played around in this range for a while, this kind of $35 to $37 range. Okay, we did break out. And I want to point out something very interesting. We did break out of that $37 area, that $37.50 area, after 1, 2, 3 kind of attempts. On the fourth attempt, we broke through. Now, if we look at where we are now, okay, we're in this range of 37 to 39, right? Roughly all in here. What he's saying we can anticipate is that we could drop back down to this 37.50 level, okay, but then break out and break through that 39 level and head up to what he's calling for, which is $44. But what I do want to point out, again, this is on a very short-term basis, but we have attempted once, twice last week. This will be our third attempt to break through there. Triple tops, like we've seen on an innumerable number of charts, are actually somewhat rare. Quadruple tops, meaning if we get up here and we don't make it through here again, a quadruple top, right? If we go up to 39 and get rejected again, that a quadruple attempt to get through there is even more rare. So we're in good shape. Okay, we're in very good shape. Now, when we go to gold, we can check out some interesting recent data. Oop, here we go. And this is from an article from Metals and Miners. Hedge funds are bullish. What does it mean when hedge funds? Hedge funds are generally considered to be the smart money. They're not as smart as the central banks throughout the world, which we know are buying gold hand over fist. But hedge funds, most people would say, are probably qualify as being the second smartest money, and they are moving bullish on gold. It says here, hedge funds bullish gold wagers rise to highest level since April. And when we take a look at this chart, that's exactly what we're seeing, right? Here was the kind of the April low, and the hedge funds, right, are moving into a much more net long position. These are the number of contracts over here. So that tells us that not only are the world central banks buying gold hand over fist, but we also have the hedge funds. Are you ready for some scary news? Right? Hey, look, we know nothing goes up in an absolute straight line. So there is something developing on the gold chart that I've never heard of before. I'm going to share it with you right now and give you the explanation. But it feels like gold has been struggling a little bit over the last, week and a half, 2 weeks. And this chart pattern this makes sense to me. This came from Kitco, and it came from Gary Wagner. I really like Gary Wagner. I know a lot of people in the gold and silver community do. Not only is he very smart, but he always struck me, and I've never met him in person. So I'm not saying this from personal experience, but he seems like just the nicest guy. And gold is forming a 3 red crows pattern. We'll cut right to the chase and go to the chart here, and I'll explain to you what he's talking about. If we make that bigger for us, what he's talking about, this is a candlestick chart, and he's talking, I can't draw on here, darn it. Well, follow my cursor. Those 3 red bars, if you can see that on the far right side of the chart, those are the last 3 days in the gold market. Okay, the 3 red bars, those are Japanese candlestick bars. The crow, what did they call that? I forget what they called it. The 3 red crows mean you have 3 red candles in a row. But the important part, if you look over to the left, a candlestick, the big fat part of the candlestick, the red bar that you see, that measures the opening price of the day to the closing price of the day. Okay. The wick, and again, if you look over to the left, and darn it, I wish you could see my cursor, but if you look back to the far left, you can see a lot of those candlesticks have what's called a wick. It looks like a candle with a wick going up. That means that gold opened right where the big bar stops at the top, but went as high as the top of that wick, went as low as the bottom, if you imagine an upside down candlestick, part of that wick, and closed. What we're seeing in this 3 red crow pattern is that on 3 consecutive days, gold opened higher, closed lower, but didn't go much above the opening price of the day. That's why they call this the 3 red crows pattern. Not a good sign, okay? But also, like all these charts that we look at, we know they can give us very strong indications, but they aren't like written in stone, right? Who knows what could happen? Because there's a lot of other people, and we're going to look at a lot of other factors in this video that indicate that both the gold and the silver price could be headed higher and higher in the coming weeks, in the coming months, and even the coming years and decades. I believe wholeheartedly that we are in for a decades-long environment where we will have macro factors which are going to be conducive to much higher and higher gold and silver prices. That all on a long-term basis boils down to the fact that the U.S. dollar will continue to lose value in real terms. Okay, because of the situation that the United States finds itself in for a number of reasons, it's almost inevitable, okay, that the dollar will continue to lose value in real terms, and that will provide a tailwind. Imagine you and I on a sailboat today, nice sunny day, right? We're in the gold and silver sailboat, and the winds are in our sails. They are pushing us in the right direction. That doesn't mean that we're not going to encounter little periods. Nothing will go straight up. But guys, things are continuing to look good for the gold and silver price. Let's look at one more challenging scenario that could unfold for the silver and gold price. Oh, wrong one. Darn it. Where did it go? Hold on here, guys. Shoot. North Star charts, gold. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, from North Star charts. Sorry about that. Gold, welcome to live streaming. Hey, we're doing the best we can, and I appreciate you guys always sticking with me and understanding that we are always doing the best we can to get this this content out smoothly. North Star said gold is now so far stretched above its 3-year moving average that we can fall around $1,000 per ounce in a 2008 style drop. But, and it's a big but, okay, and you know we like big buts, it could still be in a long-term bull market. Great to have that cushion as we approach a time of reckoning. So what he is saying is that if Armageddon were to come about again, right? Some people, think, zombie apocalypse, however you want to say it, a 2008 style scenario were to unfold in the coming years, gold has a massive cushion. And when we look at his chart, I'll show you what he's saying. From the current price to where it could fall to still be in a bull market. And when you look at this chart over on the left, and I don't think Oh, I can. Okay. This is 2008. Okay. And this shows how gold fell during that period. If you superimpose that over here into the future, that means gold could drop a full $1,000 per ounce, but still remain in that upward, can't see the top of that upward bull market. So we're sitting in good shape. Like I just said before, there's no way, in my opinion, just my opinion, don't make any financial decisions based on what I'm saying, but there's no way that we move into the future without a very, very supportive environment for the silver and gold price. And we're going to talk about one analyst who has some very, very optimistic short-term targets. We're talking weeks, not months, here next. But first, I do want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mint. Right there. Okay. They are a silver mint located in Las Vegas, Nevada, owned by First Majestic Silver. Yes, Keith Neumeyer's big silver company. First Mint gets their silver from First Majestic, who mines it in Mexico, ships it to Las Vegas, where it's transformed into world-class silver bullion products. I am going to show you this today. This is a 5-ounce bar from First Mint. You can go out to their website and check it out for yourself. firstmint.com. Okay. This happens to be upstairs Susie, my wife, who all of you know very well. She loved this little thing. It's really cool. It is probably the most robust 5-ounce silver bar that I've ever held. But they have great prices. Okay. Great selection. It's a company you can trust, headed up by Keith Neumeyer. Free shipping on orders over $199. And wait, there's more. They have a discount code, VIPRB. Think Ron's Basement, VIPRB. Let me take you out to their website real quickly so you know where to look. And here we go. Okay. Hopefully, yes, you are seeing the First Mint website. That's their Buffalo round. They have rounds, bars. There's their Las Vegas round, which I've been showing you lately on the show. They have the bars, right? 1 ounce. They have 1 ounce. There's a 10-ounce, a 5-ounce, 10-ounce, and kilo. Year of the Snake, also an awesome. And these are all original designs to First Mint. First Mint, right? They're the only ones I know who are from the mine. This is the freshest silver on the market, from the mine to the mint to you. Did you notice there's no COMEX or LBMA mixed in there? Thank you, First Mint, for sponsoring the basement, for letting us get together. Let's go out here and check out some more good news in the silver and gold market. Here we go. This comes from Tim Hack, and I think we're going to like him. We're going to start calling him the Hackster. He's got some good ideas about what we could see here in the coming weeks. He says the next leg up in precious metals will start on Monday. That will be tomorrow. We're all going to be watching tonight around 5 o'clock, Eastern, when the gold and silver markets open. But he says in the next few weeks, gold will rise 20% towards $4,000. Silver will rise by more than 30%, reaching its all-time high, $50 per ounce. Let's take a look at this chart. This is a gold chart, and I didn't realize this. Guys, this is called, some people call it a triangle pattern. I call it a wedge pattern. We can see a wedge pattern that's developed in the gold price since looks like, April, maybe going all the way back to March. Okay. All right. When a wedge develops like that and the price is being compressed within the wedge, like it is, eventually it gets to a point where it has to go up or down. All right. And what he's calling for is that we're going to be in for a big, big move upwards. Look, we know one big factor that we need to consider when we're thinking about gold and silver are the ETF flows. Okay. And when we think about silver, we know that in the West, on the retail bullion side, the demand has been very, very, very subdued. Right? We know that when the demand at your local coin shop or your online bullion dealer, when that demand gets back just to normal, that we could see a new major influence, an upward influence on the silver price. The ETFs, okay, do we have data? Yes, we do. That shows that in the West, we are starting to see some ETF inflows, but it's not just that. It's happening all over the world, guys, and the numbers are quite astounding. Let's go out and look at what the Silver Academy shared with us. Okay, this initially starts talking about Indian silver ETF demand, but it's got unbelievable data about Western silver ETF demand as well. Indian silver ETFs inventories increased to the most in the world. All right. Something big is stirring in silver, something seismic unfolding in the world of silver. And anyone tracking precious metals should be paying close attention. Have you noticed how India's silver ETF inventories skyrocketed by 51 million ounces since the start of 2024? This is one country. We know that the entire mining industry and recycling industry provides just a little over 1 billion ounces of silver per year. 50 million, that's one country, that's 5% of the entire world's output of physical silver has been gobbled up by Indian ETFs. Let's look at this chart because it's amazing. And it's not just India, but wait, there's more. Okay, so here over on the left on this chart, you can see this is from January of 2024 through June, just what, 27 days ago of 2025. India added 51 million ounces. But what's even more and what was surprising and I think astounding as well is that the iShares SLV ETF added 43 million ounces. Okay, guys, the ETFs, I believe, and I'd be curious, leave a comment in the comment section below. But the ETFs are the first thing to move before the retail bullion market rebounds. And we're seeing 43 million ounces added, right? That's added over that period, increases. All right. Now, look, also, you've got the iShares SVR, SSLN ETF, and the Sprott ETF, all of them adding ounces. Well, here, I don't even have to do the math. Hold on. Let's go right here. In total, over that period of time, there were 138 million ounces of silver added, again, out of about a billion. Think about that. That's almost 14% of the world's output. Now, granted, that was an 18-month period, but it shows us that Eastern demand for silver is still absolutely robust. And I believe a beginning, right, a canary in the coal mine in terms of what we could see in the coming 18 months when it comes to Western demand. Right? It's absolutely crazy, okay? All over the world over the last 18 months. And what about China? Let's take a look at what's going on with silver in China. This is just it's too bizarre for words. China's silver price erupts, now a staggering 10.5% above the paper mirage of the COMEX. Arbitrage frenzy, China and the East are drinking the COMEX milkshake as physically settled markets expose the great Western silver ruse. And let's take a look at this. All right. And what we want to look at here, okay, is up here. This is from David Lee. Put this out on X. All right. The Chinese silver price, as you can see on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, we're at $40.68. Whereas right here, our spot price on the COMEX, $38.26. But what we really want to look at is what they're selling silver for on JD.com, $42.20, a full pretty much $4 higher than what we see on the paper market at the COMEX and the LBMA here in the United States. The other thing that he added in this article, how did we end up with 363 paper silver claims for every ounce? And that's the situation. Right now we have 363 paper ounces in the futures, options, swaps, and forward derivatives and ETFs to 1. Okay, the crazy part about this, right, we talked about this last week, but it bears revisiting. Hypothetically, Silver's price per ounce, if all paper was converted into physical, almost $14,000. Now, what about one more big factor that could send shockwaves through the precious metals markets? Guys, there's something that nobody else is talking about that I'm going to share with you next. And yes, it does have to do with gold mining stocks, but it can have a major impact on the price of physical gold and silver. But first, I do want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mining Gold. Speaking of gold mining companies, First Mining Gold is a Canadian gold development stage company. That means they have big amounts of gold in the ground. It's already been drilled. It's already been defined. We're talking 2 projects with millions and millions of ounces. Okay. Springpole in Ontario and Du Parquet in Quebec. Those are 2 huge gold mining projects. They're working through the development phase. They're working through the permitting phase. It's exciting because guess what? There aren't a lot of big development stage projects in Canada. Oh, and by the way, there's a third project, the Cameron project, which also has approaching 1 million ounces of gold in the ground. You can learn more about the company at firstmininggold.com. Did I tell you I'm not a financial advisor? I'm not giving financial advice. Stocks are risky. Bonds are risky. Everything's risky in life. Do your own due diligence. Talk to a financial advisor, whatever you need to do. But I believe that the junior gold and... Okay, thank you, Susie. The junior gold and silver mining sector offer an unbelievable value opportunity and potential for capital appreciation. And Susie just alerted me that we need, hold on, let's call Susie. You guys want to give Susie a call? Susie, I didn't quite get what you said. Over.
You need 3 more likes. Oh, nope, you reached 100. Just when you, so you know, before you sign off, maybe say hi to some people on the chat if you have time.
Okay. I always have time for the basement dwellers that join me here. Thank you, Susie. Over. Susie wants to say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. High five. Susie, that's upstairs, Susie. She sits in this Adirondack chair, and she's a lover of silver and gold as well. Where were we? Oh, we got 100 thumbs up. Oh, and I'm going to tell you about this secret weapon, secret factor that nobody else is talking about that I think could bring a lot of new people into the silver and gold market. But first, I got to ring the golden gong. Then we're going to get to the special feature. This is for you. Thank you for being here. Three rings of the golden gong. And the final one, listen to it resonate. I think that's the right word. Resonate, reverberate. I don't know. Vibrate. Okay. Look, it's no secret. It's no secret, gold and silver investors. We have been through fire together. We are the fiat fighters. We know, right? We know this guy, Jerome Powell. Yeah, the toilet paper, right? Print. Hold on. Get a piece out. There we go. Print. Okay. We have been through years, decades of challenges. Okay. And it's been like a ghost town. Yeah. Right. We got together down here in the basement for years. We had a bear that had a $2,500 gold blindfold that we removed, but we went through the fire together. No doubt about it. Our neighbors laughed at us. We even sometimes doubted ourselves, but we stuck together. We held strong. What's important about that? There's a reason why I said that, because there's very few people as smart as you and as smart as me that were able to look around the corner and realize that there was going to be a big bull market for gold and silver. And guess why that's good news? Because we are a small elite force of fiat fighters, okay? And when we have even just a few new people, the sheeple that are like, oh, they're just buying NVIDIA stock, right? When we get some of those, nothing wrong with you if you own NVIDIA, just somehow that came out as an example. When we get more people joining us, it's only going to have to be a small number. Think about that, right? I mean, you know these statistics they throw out that only 0.5% of the world's financial assets are in gold and silver. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but what we know for sure is that the number of people invested in gold and silver, invested in the mining stocks, it's like a ghost town. Okay. But we lived in the ghost town together. We stuck together. The important point in all this is it's only going to take a small number of people joining us to have a big impact on the price of physical metals, on the price of the metal stocks. Okay. When they wake up, the sheeple, right, since we're I call it the law of small numbers. It's something I made up, but it's true. When you start with a small number, right, you don't need a big increase in numbers to have a major impact. Okay, it's like the guy that used to say it's like trying to drain Hoover Dam with a garden hose. All that water, all those people trying to join us, and like, hey, there's only so much room on this boat. Okay, there's only so much room on the gold and silver lifeboat. Here's a for those of you who like numbers, here's a good way to think about it. If only, let's say, 1% of all the world's money, financial assets, however you want to look at it, is invested in precious metals oriented investments, and that number goes to 2%, which is still historically way below average, it creates a 100% increase. It's not like we started at 20% and would have to go to 40%. No, we started at 1% and had to go to 2%. Sorry, I have some allergies. If that number goes from 1% to 5%, that's a 500% increase. Do you realize what will happen to the price of the metals potentially? Don't make any financial decisions based on what I'm saying down here. I'm just a guy with an accounting degree sitting in his basement. It could be massive. It could be huge. What's the secret weapon? The one of the catalysts, it's the big mining companies. There are a few. One of them is Newmont. Let me read this to you. And there's a reason why I want to read this to you. So stick with me on this one. Let's see. After the market closed on Thursday, that was 3 days ago, Newmont Corp reported Q2 earnings, a net income of $2.1 billion, significantly surpassing analyst estimates, with adjusted net income per share at $1.43 per share, exceeding the estimate of $1.16. Newmont blew away estimates, which probably doesn't mean anything to us. I don't own Newmont. You probably don't either. But they are one of the world's biggest gold mining companies. All right. So the generalist investors are, and on Friday, their stock went up when most of the mining stocks went down. The point here is, as these mining companies report blockbuster earnings, it's going to bring more eyes into the mining sector, but also more attention into the metals as well. It's a part of the puzzle and a critical part of the puzzle, right? The generalist investors understand Newmont Mining, and all we want is to crack the door open. When that door gets cracked open and we start to get a few people coming in, and it's only going to take a few, because remember the law of small numbers, right? We'll start to see the stocks take off, and then they'll get interested in the metals, and they'll say, you know what, I might buy some gold. Oh, and then what about silver? That'll bleed down to the silver miners. And then the silver, more people will think about silver because nobody's thinking about it. The retail investor, and that's a good thing. We're happy about that. That's the silver lining on that, is we've got a massive runway of potential improvement when it comes to the number of people who can learn about the precious metals. The other thing, before I forget, because this is actually very exciting, is the opportunity presented by tokenization of gold and silver. There's companies out there doing it right now. Tether has XAUT, tokenized gold. What's the other one that we always see that does live from the vault? Kinesis has tokenized gold and silver. Look, whether or not you like crypto, whether or not, that's fine. Everybody can have their own opinion. But I can tell you this. When they tokenize gold, that means they make one token on the blockchain that represents 1 ounce of gold. that generates demand for physical gold. It's the same thing, same concept as what's going on with this Genius Act that they passed in Washington, D.C. last week, right? Where they're gonna support the USDC. That allows people to buy the dollar in tokenized form all over the world. And that allows more money to come in, which allows our government to rack up more debt, which will make the silver and gold price go up higher, which could also benefit not just physical holdings, but tokenized. The important thing, let me get back to this tokenization idea, is that whether it's silver, whether it's gold, if they tokenize it and it is 100% backed by physical, whether or not you like crypto, doesn't matter. That creates demand for the physical metal because whoever's issuing those tokens has to buy the physical metal, like XAUT, Tether. Everyone's heard of the company Tether. That's tokenized gold, and they have all that gold in a vault in Switzerland. When people buy XAUT, they have to make sure that for each token, there's an ounce of gold in the vault, and you can redeem it, okay? So that's another exciting prospect that we're facing with the precious metals environment as we move forward. Everywhere we look, right? ETF demand is going up, right? We're just waiting for the retail investor, right, in the West to join. And we know that underlying it all, right, that from a technical perspective, when we look at the charts, that most likely we are in for a good couple months in the sector. Oh, Susie wanted me to say, all right, guys, it's that time, basement dwellers. We are all over the world. Gold and silver are valuable everywhere. You are valuable. Let's see where we all are. Tell me in the comments where you're joining us from, and I'll do my best to read as many of them as possible. We've got over 600 people on this live stream, so this could go fast. So I'm gonna read. I'm ready. Go ahead. Genius Act. Hey, Mo Silver, good to see you, my friend. Freedom will ring. Good to see you. Great Gazoo. Good to see you. All right, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Maybe my comments aren't turned on. Tell us where you're from. Alberta, Alan. Hey, thank you, Alan. You're number one. Okay, Brooklyn, Freedom will ring. Illinois, Todd. Las Vegas, Svetlana Answana. William Ryan, Montreal, Canada. Think of all these places, guys, where we are. Okay, Florida, the great Gazoo. Good to have you here, Gazoo. Moscow. Wow, I cannot read that. Matpua. Wow, somebody. India, Santosh. Wow, Brandon from Manitoba, Netherlands, India, Germany, Frankfurt, Leon, Iran, Soren. This is awesome. Carroll Stream, Illinois. I'm a DePaul University graduate, Northern Illinois. Daniel, nice to see you. Middle Europe, just great. Good to see you. Westavia Hills, Alabama. I love Alabama. Australia. Oh, man. Albania. Wow. Huntsville. I can't believe all over the United States. Austria. Guys, tell me, right? Tell me. Wow. Leon, I can't read that. Just Freedom. California. Wow. Unbelievable. You're a good character from the UK, from the United Kingdom. People buy gold even with changes, pockets in Iran. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you, Soren. Southern California, Ozark National Forest, North Carolina. Oh my gosh. Buy the dip, Scott says. Okay, Alex is from North Carolina. Come on, I can read a few more. Come on, guys. Las Vegas, Melvin, good to see you. So the point here, unbelievable. Honestly, I'm shocked. Northern California we are like Moscow, Albania, Australia, Europe. Anybody from South America? Montrose, Michigan. We love Michigan. Susie and I used to go there every summer with our daughters when they were little. All right. Thank you. Okay. This is not possible without the unbelievable support that you guys give Susie and I. We love our silver and gold. It's a big deal when you join us. I also want to say thank you to channel sponsor Ledger, the cryptocurrency, hardware wallet security leader, and MoonPay. No one is innovating in the fintech world like MoonPay. Most importantly, thank you. I mean that. Don't forget, we've got a free deal going on right now. You can subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated. Have a great day, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you, yes, you, next time.